Hi there, I'm Rafi and I'm from Positively Training and Boarding, and today we're going to talk about puppy nipping or biting or bite inhibition. And we're going to explain how we deal with it and what tools we can use in order to work on it. Okay, so puppies bite. It's a normal thing. All puppies nip, some more, some less, some are persistent, some don't at all, but it's generally behavior that we have to deal with, and we have to learn how we teach what to bite. There's reasons why puppies bite. One is teething. That are usually about 5 to 6 months old. They will also lose their puppy teeth, and the adult teeth will grow in, and they need to bite on stuff to soothe their gums. The gums start swelling up, they get red, the teeth come through, the teeth fall out. So all those things, a puppy needs a way to comfort himself or to make it feel better. And what we do is we use various chews, toys, and all sorts of objects to help us. I'll go through a few of the toys and bones that I use in a minute, but I'll just talk about how we deal with the biting. First reason for biting, we just said, is the teething. Another reason for biting is what we call prey drive. Dogs are naturally predators, so they want to chase things. In old days, when they were if they were in the wild, it would be to catch a prey and kill it. Now they're domesticated, so it's not something we have to worry about too much, but they still have that prey drive. So another reason they bite is prey drive. They want to chase things that are moving. They chase feet, they chase hands, kids. So there's various things that we can do to deal with it. With the prey drive, we would use balls. We can use soft toys, okay, teddy bears. There's thousands of different toys on the market. You've got toys that make noises. You've got toys that are just soft. You've got rope toys. Some dogs like that. Every dog is different. You really need to gauge what your dog specifically likes. But those things we can use for prey drive. And I'll demonstrate in a second and explain in a second how we use them. Other things that we can use for the teething and to bite on, and things that keep a dog busy for longer, are things like antlers. It's a dog antler. This is an older one, but there's different types for puppies, smaller ones, bigger ones. We've got these type of plastic chews, which some dogs like. We have the milk yak chews, which a lot of dogs like. We've got marrow bones. Okay, these are marrow bones. That's a used one. That's the one with fake marrow inside. You can get it at the pet shop. We've got a marrow bone that I've stuffed with tinned dog food, but I've frozen it. That's also a great thing to use. And again, I'm going to talk about how we use them in a second. And then we've got the Kong. So the Kong is also a hollow toy. Now you can put whatever you want in there. Some people put peanut butter, some people put treats. I use either raw mincemeat and freeze it, or tinned dog food and freeze it. And I'll talk about in a second why we freeze it and what it's good for. Okay, and we're going to give it back to him. So, with regards to toys, what we want to do to encourage our dog to bite on toys, we want to play with our dog, play with the toy with the dog. So we shake it from side to side, make it like an alive animal. As you can see, the second I moved it, he got off and wants to come play with it, although he's got a much higher value thing there, which is meat over the toy, so this won't compete against that. But generally, what we'll do is we'll shake the toy from side to side to encourage our dog to bite it, and when he bites the toy, we will play tug of war to encourage it, okay? Because that tug of war with our dog is rewarding. What we'll also do is, if I have a toy lying around and my dog goes over to play with it by himself, I will reinforce that. I won't just take it for granted. I will go over to my dog and play tug of war with him just for a few seconds while he's chewing on the toy. Then he learns, if I sit here and play with my toy, my owners come and interact with me. And that's what our dog wants. So there we go. We've got our dog biting us. Aye. So what I'll do is, I'll play with the toy and make it alive, like I said. And then he bites the toy. Good boy. And then I encourage it. He bites and I encourage it. And now when I want to take it away, I'll get a treat. Good boy. And reinforce him. Redirect him onto the toy. That's what we want to do. Good boy. Good boy. Yay. There's a good boy. That's good. And I can pet him over his head while he's chewing the toy, so he gets used to the hand coming over him while he's playing with the toy. We desensitize him to the hand. Problem with kids is that what they do is they tend to like grab the dog and get the dog scared of the hands. So we want to get our dog used to the hand touch. Good boy. An example I like to use for this is problems with remote controls for the TV. I'm going to get phone calls, endless phone calls. My dog is chewing the remote control to the TV. So I explain to owners where this starts. It starts off when our dog is a puppy. We're sitting here in our TV area. We've got a low table. TV's right over there in front of me. I've got my dog bed next to the sofa. And usually what happens is I have my remote control here next to me on the table. Okay, I'm sitting watching a 2-hour movie. My dog is here in his dog bed. Right now he's chewing a Kong and it keeps him busy for a long time. But if I had a soft toy and I didn't have a Kong and he's busy chewing the toy, they will only stay chewing the toy for a very short time. I'm busy watching a 2-hour movie. My dog's chewing the toy, which is what I like. What do I do about it? Nothing. I continue watching my movie. Eventually, my dog will get tired or get bored. So he will get out of his bed, he'll drop the toy and he'll start pottering around the house. He starts to sniff around the table. Now here I can see, but some places you won't notice that he's sniffing around the table. And he sees this piece of plastic, it's a remote control. He doesn't know it's a remote control, but it has our smell on it. Sniff, 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 picks it up. I don't notice. Suddenly I hear on the side this cracking sound of plastic. What do I go do? I turn my head and I see my dog is chewing the remote control. What do usually people do? They get up, no, naughty, take it away, tell him off, or give him a toy instead, and so on and so on. What the dog learned there, what our dog learned is, if I chew my toy in my bed, no one interacts with me, nothing happens. But if I chew this remote control, everyone gets excited and goes crazy. So from now on, I'm gonna chew remote controls. That gets my owner's attention. What we should have done in the first place, we're watching a movie, he's chewing a toy. All it needs from us is to get up for a few seconds, tug, tug, tug with our dog, because that's rewarding. And then he'll learn, if I lie here and chew my toy, my owners come and interact with me. So that's what the soft toys are for, is to keep our dog busy. Now what we can also do to encourage, like I said, we can shake from side to side, we can throw it, we can run around with it. But what's important with toys, and bones for that matter, is not to leave them 24/7 for our dog, because they will chew them and they will lose their value. It won't be valuable to them anymore, and then when we need it, when we need to use it, it won't work. When would we need to use it? We're watching a movie. When's another time we need to use it? When he's biting us relentlessly. What we do, or he's biting furniture. What we do is we redirect a dog onto a toy. So if he's biting something we don't want him to bite, we will redirect onto a toy. And when he bites the toy, we'll play tug of war, and that's rewarding. We won't tell off for chewing something. We won't tell off for biting. That telling off can bring us into problems like resource guarding. Resource guarding is a very complex and detailed problem, which will take another time to explain. We won't get into it now. But in order to not let resource guarding happen, we will redirect, but we'll also take away a toy with a treat. So if I want to take away that bone, I won't just snatch it away from him. Rather, I'll offer him a piece of food and I'll pick it up. Okay? I'll offer a piece of food and I'll pick it up, and I can give it back to him. So he doesn't think I'm stealing his valuable item. Again, I'm not going to get into detail now, but that's just an important point to make with regards to picking up bones. So if he's biting my feet, biting my hands, whatever it can be, I'll redirect and encourage biting on a toy and play tug of war. Another issue we get with our puppies is that kids tend to run around the garden with their dog. So the dog chases the kids' legs and nip them. So what's important is that I advise kids to take a toy on a string, run around the garden, but dragging the toy behind them. So our dog chases the toy and bites the toy and doesn't chase the kid and bite the kid. Okay, very important. So we have the toys, we keep them valuable because we rotate toys at different times of day, we give different toys, then we take them away. But we've also got all these various chews, like I just mentioned, for the teething. Again, these are very high value. We use them, we don't abuse them. So we don't leave them 24/7. And that can help our dog's teething by giving them to him. But if we leave them 24/7, they lose their value and we can't use them when we need to use them. Times that might be good to use them. Now, I'm talking on this video with you. I need to keep my puppy busy. He can spend hours licking through this, and that is why I freeze it. So I mentioned before, I freeze it. The freezing takes much longer for our dog to lick at it and get through it. If it was just the food, he can finish it very quickly. I'm watching a movie now. I want my dog to relax on his bed, licking something for an hour. So he can possibly do that for an hour. Not only that, I'm rewarding him right now without me even having to reward him because he's getting food from the Kong and he's lying on his bed. So the bed becomes more of a positive place. So it's great to put our bones on the bed. That's one time we can use our bones. Another time, if we have to cook in the kitchen for a long time, we might want to give him a bone. If we're sitting down to eat, we might want to give one of these bones to keep them busy so they can grind their teeth on it. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the Kong every time. We'll use different bones for different scenarios. You know, something that is very difficult for a dog is when we leave him or maybe put him in a crate for a little bit, or we leave him at home. That's when we might want to use a high value bone because that's stressful. The antler is a lower value, so I might do that when I'm just relaxing on the sofa and he's just chewing next to me and I don't have to do something major. The more difficult the scenario is, we up the value of our bone. And every dog likes different things. Some dogs don't like the antler, some dogs don't like this or this. So we'll find out exactly what our dog likes, what makes our dog tick. And it's our job to find it out. So, one, for the teething and the biting, we've got our bones to grind their teeth on and to help with the teething. We've got our high value bones, low value bones, are stuffed with frozen meat, things like that. Remember, always taking away our bones with a treat. We've got our soft toys, which can play fetch and tug of war, and they can also chew on them, and we need to rotate them throughout the day to keep them interested in the toys. We've got the redirecting, so when our dog bites something that we don't like, we can redirect onto the toy. We've got the kids running around with toys rather than chasing the dog, or rather than the dog chasing them. There's one more thing which can help with regards to biting. If it's relentless, we can separate from our dog. So that means our dog wants to be with us, okay? The second he bites us, we can just walk off, letting him learn that biting loses us. He wants to be with us. So if he bites us, he loses us. So that's really what we have for the biting. Obviously, if there is a dog that is a little bit more persistent and a little bit more difficult in the biting, there's lots of other things that we can do. But I would definitely advise getting professional advice from a trainer with regards to biting if it's much, much worse. And the other thing that can help is physical exercise and mental stimulation. Mental stimulation is training. That can also calm down the biting and the hyperness of biting. Okay, enjoy for now.